Okay, let's unpack this. Have you ever looked at your D&D Rogue, the one everyone thinks they know, and wondered if maybe, just maybe, they're secretly the most misunderstood character and, underestimated?
Oh, that's a great question to start with.
Yeah,
Because honestly, for way too long, they've kind of been stuffed into this little box, haven't they?
totally.
And it really feels like there's just so much more bubbling beneath the surface there.
It's an absolutely fascinating question, yeah, and one we've definitely been mulling over quite a bit ourselves. Today, we're sort of embarking on this really mellow, hopefully insightful deep dive. It's inspired by some really profound observations from our friends over at LitRPG Reads.
Right?
Our mission really is to peel back those layers, to explore these deeper, more nuanced ways you can roleplay rogues that move far beyond the tired old thief and assassin cliches.
Yeah, get past that.
We want to crack open those old assumptions basically and see what truly rich, complex stories are just waiting to spill out.
You're right. It is about time. And the timing couldn't be more perfect for this kind of laid-back exploration, actually.
Yeah.
We're drawing from this really excellent piece. It's titled, How to Effectively Play a D&D Rogue in 2025. Breaking Down Common Archetype Misunderstandings.
Good title.
Right? Written by Heidi Jiang, and it just dropped on LitRPG Reads on August 4th, 2025.
Perfect.
So yeah, perfect timing for a chill chat about breaking down some of those old school D&D barriers and just seeing what else is possible, what else is there for us to discover.
Yeah, precisely. And we're inviting you, our listener, to kind of consider how these deep-seated assumptions, even the really subtle ones, the ones that just sort of hang in the air at the game table, how they might actually be limiting your own rogue characters or maybe the rogues you encounter in your campaigns.
Yeah, true.
There's this vast, untapped narrative potential just sitting there waiting to be discovered. Like a secret passage nobody bothered to check.
Or a hidden room you just haven't found the trapdoor for yet.
Exactly.
Yeah. So let's set the stage then, shall we? When you think rogue, what's the very first image that pops into your head? For so many of us, it's that glaring stereotype, isn't it?
Oh, yeah?
The sly, smirking scoundrel, the shadowy thief, the unpredictable loner who, like the article puts it, might steal the priest's purse, desert comrades, or knife someone in the night.
Right. The usual suspects.
It's become the default setting, hasn't it? Whether we like it or not.
And that narrow expectation has really, truly hung heavy over the entire class. It's shaped generation after generation of players and dungeon masters.
It really has.
It's become almost like this unspoken rule. I mean, think about your own tables. Have you ever felt that subtle pressure or that quiet judgment maybe when someone announces they're playing a rogue?
Oh, absolutely.
That immediate, almost unconscious assumption that they're the one who's going to mess things up,
Yeah, or always go for the quick score, or even just be the designated lock picker and trap finder.
Right, reduce them to a function.
Oh, absolutely. Rogues often became shorthand for chaos, didn't they? For instability. They rarely earned the kind of deep, nuanced backstories or a proper seat at the table of heroes.
Yeah, they were kind of sidelined.
Totally. Their morality was often just assumed to be mercurial, like a flickering candle in a strong breeze. Their talents got reduced to just this resume of stealth and trickery. It's they can do more, but the game, or maybe just the collective perception of the game, kind of pushes them into this very narrow, very predictable box.
And that's precisely the box we're hoping to dismantle a bit today. The article makes this really compelling counter-argument. It suggests that rogues are, in fact, a crucible for ambiguity and evolution.
Ooh, I like that. Crucible.
Yeah. They possess this rare, delicious flexibility, a capacity to embody such a wide spectrum of narrative possibilities that goes way beyond just being good at skills.
Right. It's not just what they do.
Exactly. It's fundamentally about who they are and who they can become.
Right. They can be masterminds just as easily as they can be martyrs. They can be figures haunted by deep tragedy or galvanized by this profound loyalty.
Yeah.
It's like the article beautifully states, calling them assassins or thieves alone cheats both the class and its players out of the full sweep of narrative and emotional range D&D places at their feet. And when you genuinely stop and think about that, when you just sit with that idea for a second, that's a truly immense loss for storytelling at the table.
It really is.
It's this vast, untapped vein of potential just sitting there waiting for us to dig in.
What's truly fascinating here, I think, is how many players and DMs just forget. They forget that the dots of a rogue's unique skill set and their background can be connected into these really intricate portraits.
Yeah.
Portraits of moral complexity or profound loyalty or even, like, upright justice.
Right. It's not just about the mechanics.
It's not just what they can mechanically accomplish, but what kind of person they can be within the whole narrative. A rogue, completely against all expectations, might surprise everyone by serving as the party's conscience.
Wow.
Or its unsuspecting heart. Or even, remarkably, the glue in a world that seems set on fracture. They can be that quiet force holding everything together.
Wow. The glue in a world set on fracture. That's a really powerful image. And it really flips the script on the usual unpredictable loner or mercurial scoundrel stereotype, doesn't it?
That absolutely does.
So our goal with this deep dive then, our real mission here, is to kind of cleave through that fog of misconception, to expose not just what rogues can do, but all that they can become.
Yeah.
We want to invite you, the listener, to sort of peel back the mask and truly see the rogue not as this flat stereotype, but as maybe a figurehead for what the best Dungeons & Dragons can achieve.
Which is?
Immersive, unpredictable, transcendent narrative play. Just imagine the possibilities, not just for the rogue, but for your entire campaign.
And to truly understand what a rogue can become, I think we first need to understand the origins of these deeply entrenched stereotypes.
Good idea. Where did they come from?
Let's trace the origins of the rogue's misconceptions right back to D&D's inception itself. The game, as it was first conceived and then evolved over time, drew really heavily from this rich tapestry of sources.
Like what?
Like pulp fantasy novels, classic sword and sorcery adventures, and even the archetypes you saw in Hollywood's golden age.
Ah, okay.
These influences weren't just like background noise, they actively shaped the very DNA of the rogue class.
Yeah, those old school influences are absolutely everywhere when you look, aren't they? The earliest iteration of the rogue, often just called the thief back then.
Right, the thief class.
It really emerged in the shadows of characters like, well, Bilbo Baggins from The Hobbit, obviously.
Yep. The burglar.
And the roguish Grey Mouser from Fritz Leiber's stories. And even sometimes the noble outlaw Robin Hood. It was this truly fascinating mix, this confluence of cut-purse, acrobatic daredevil, and sometimes, a surprisingly noble outlaw. You could practically see these characters in your mind when you look at those early rogue designs.
Precisely. And what's interesting is how the game mechanics themselves almost inadvertently kind of codified an image.
Also.
Well, features like sneak attack immediately conjured visions of, silent murder or opportunistic strikes. Stealth and sleight of hand spoke more to mischief, trickery, and personal gain rather than overt heroism.
Yeah, they sound sneaky.
The very rules sort of establish rogues as creatures of opportunity and shadow, almost destined to dance between the cracks of lawful society. Then, as the editions rolled on, classic modules, those pre-written adventures, they often leaned on rogues for very specific, pretty narrow tasks. Trap finding, lock picking, scouting.
Agility belt functions.
Exactly. They rarely placed significant moral weight or narrative dimension onto these actions, which effectively pushed rogues to the margins, both narratively and socially. They became utility belts with feet.
And then outside the rulebooks, the flames of that stereotype just flared even brighter, didn't they?
Oh, massive.
Films, comics, novels, they gleefully transpose these D&D archetypes onto their most enduring scoundrels and anti-heroes. Pop culture just absolutely feasted on the vision of the rogue as the party's biggest risk.
The wild card.
Yeah, the wild card, liable to sell out friends for a pouch of gold or just an easy exit. It's like you look at these characters and you immediately recognize the mold that D&D designers and then the players were working from.
It's so true. I mean, think about some of the most iconic ones. Take Han Solo, for instance.
Right.
Initially, he's portrayed as this greedy, totally self-serving smuggler. His motivations are purely financial, right? His redemption arc is this slow, hard-won battle against his own established persona.
Definitely. Or Artemis Entreri from the Forgotten Realms novels.
Ooh, good one. R.A. Salvatore.
Yeah. He's often defined by his cold, ruthless efficiency as an assassin, seemingly devoid of human emotion. He's like the epitome of the calculated killer.
Total opposite of Han in some ways, but still feeding that stereotype.
Oh, and the Grey Mouser we mentioned.
Yeah.
The quintessential roguish, chaotic mischief maker who constantly finds himself in trouble through his own impulsive actions. And Locke Lamora from the Gentleman Bastard series. He's presented first and foremost as this master con artist where loyalty always feels secondary to the success of the con.
The con is everything.
Then Garrett from the Thief video game series. his motivations often hover cynically between pure self-interest and this detached observation of a corrupt world.
Right.
It's this whole spectrum of morally gray to downright shady, all reinforcing the idea that rogues are always out for themselves.
Yes, and even outside of pure fantasy, you see it. Think of Lando Calrissian.
Well.
His charm really just camouflages frequent betrayals and these constantly shifting allegiances. It's like, trust me, I'm charming, but also I might sell you out.
Yeah, that's classic Lando.
It's that classic archetype, isn't it? Even characters like the Joker in many Batman iterations. He embodies the ultimate chaotic saboteur, completely unbound by any morality or loyalty beyond his own twisted whims.
True.
These characters are incredibly compelling, don't get me wrong, but they contribute to a very narrow perception of what a rogue can be.
And this is where it gets really interesting, I think. These tropes, as the article so insightfully points out, they calcified. They became this relentless feedback loop.
How do you mean?
Well, players, seeing only these possibilities reflected in media and in those early D&D modules, they leaned hard into them. Every smirk, every "I check for traps" uttered with that ironic detachment. It just reinforced this narrow notion.
Okay. Player behavior feeding it back.
Exactly. Soon, even DMs defaulted to these expectantly suspicious glances. They rarely trusted a rogue's stated intentions, just assuming they had some secret agenda.
Yeah, the DM eyes you suspiciously.
Right. And the result? A class maligned and profoundly misunderstood. Its rich palette of narrative and emotional hues got dulled by this consensus that really stifled true imagination.
Absolutely. But unearthing the sources of these misconceptions, understanding why these ideas took root in the first place, that makes it possible to discard that old scaffolding, to explore the class on more dynamic, truly meaningful terms.
Right. Knowing the history lets you break free.
It's only once the roots of misunderstanding are exposed that the full flourishing of rogue complexity can truly begin to crack open and take flight. Recognizing these well-trodden grooves isn't about, shaming past creativity.
No, not at all.
It's about expanding its potential, blowing open the field of possibilities.
Exactly. With that veil lifted, new avenues start to emerge for rogues. Avenues painted in fresh shades, driven by motives totally unfamiliar to the old stereotypes, and shaped by choices that truly matter, not just to the individual rogue, but to the entire party in the campaign world. It is only then that the rogue's soulful potential cracks open, ready for boundless celebration and untamed imagination. So now that we've talked about where these stereotypes came from, let's talk about how to absolutely shatter them.
Let's do it. Because D&D actually does splinter the rogue into this gallery of archetypes, right? Each one with its own signature, brimming with narrative possibility. But, as we've discussed at most tables, these subtypes just get reduced to familiar signifiers. The thief pilfers purses, the assassin hunkers in shadows, the swashbuckler flourishes a blade with a wink and a smile.
The usual.
What often slips past most of us is the fertile ground for reinvention. These fields of narrative ripe for sowing stories far, far beyond the tired old stereotype.
And that's the real key here, isn't it?
Yeah.
Those names: thief, assassin, swashbuckler, arcane trickster, mastermind, scout, phantom, soul knife, inquisitive, trickster. They aren't limitations.
Exactly. They're invitations.
Yes. And the article offers such compelling examples of how we often misunderstand their true potential.
Okay, let's take the thief, for instance. Beyond being just a generic criminal or some kleptomaniac,
Right.
imagine them as a true champion of the poor, a symbolic Robin Hood figure.
Okay.
Now, this isn't just about stealing from the rich. It's about the deep moral dilemmas involved. When does this thief draw the line? How do they justify their actions to, say, a lawful paladin or cleric in the party?
Ooh, yeah, that could be tense.
What kind of recurring antagonists does this create? Maybe a zealous city guard captain who sees them purely as a criminal while the common folk see them as a hero. Their actions become less about personal gain and more about systemic change, however small. Rekindling lost ideals, maybe.
That's a beautiful thought.
Oh,
Okay, what about the assassin? Often seen as just a ruthless killer, totally devoid of emotion.
yeah, the cold killer trope.
Right, but what if they're actually a deeply regretful vigilante? Haunted by every life they've taken, now seeking atonement by targeting only truly monstrous individuals.
Exploring shame and atonement.
Exactly. Or maybe an assassin bound by an incredibly strict, almost sacred oath of service to a forgotten deity or a desperate cause, where each kill is this heavy burden, not a thrill. This transforms their mechanics, like sneak attack, into a morally complex act rather than just a simple damage number. It adds weight.
Absolutely. And the swashbuckler. We see them as the flamboyant showboat, maybe a
A
womanizer.
charming rogue, yeah.
But they could be a secret romantic, carrying a hidden, perhaps tragic love for someone completely out of reach.
Ah, interesting.
Or imagine them as a heroic duelist, fighting injustice not for fame, but because of a deep personal code of honor. They're navigating love, honor, and public expectation constantly.
So their flair for dramatics becomes a tool.
Exactly. A tool for drawing attention away from their true intentions, or maybe a way to inspire the downtrodden. It's this entire life lived behind a dazzling facade.
Oh, and the arcane trickster.
Yeah.
We often think of them as just selfish pranksters or irresponsible mages, all about the mischief.
Yeah, the Loki type.
But what if they're actually a brilliant, self-taught scholar challenging magical dogma, forced to use their trickery because the established magical institutions refuse to acknowledge their unconventional methods?
Ooh, fighting the system with magic.
Right. Or perhaps there's someone struggling with forbidden knowledge they stumbled upon, or trying desperately to find their sense of belonging in a world that fears their unique, often unpredictable blend of arcane and mundane skills.
So their illusions could be like a form of protective camouflage?
Exactly. Their magic, a desperate grasp for understanding or belonging.
Okay, the mastermind. Not merely a manipulative chess master just pulling strings for personal power.
No.
They could be a reluctant leader, burdened by the weight of responsibility, or maybe a political reformer, using subtle negotiation and building alliances behind the scenes to achieve a greater good for their community or nation.
Using their intelligence for good, basically.
Yeah. Their unparalleled intelligence becomes a force for systemic change, not just personal gain. Maybe even forcing them to make morally ambiguous choices for the greater good, constantly battling their conscience.
And the scout. More than just a loner survivalist type.
Definitely. They could be an exiled heir forced into the wilderness, or maybe a revolutionary scout gathering intel for an uprising. They could embody deep loyalty or even environmental stewardship.
The Phantom. Often just seen as a goth caricature, obsessed with death.
Yeah, gets played that way a lot.
But they could be an empathic medium, actively aiding restless spirits. Haunted by past wrongs, perhaps, seeking posthumous justice for others.
Connecting with the dead for answers or closure.
Yeah. And the soul knife.
Yeah.
Not just an inscrutable psychic, a cold predator.
What else?
Maybe a psychic healer, a memory restorer, wrestling with their own identity, defending the vulnerable, using their unique mental gifts.
Okay, the inquisitive. Beyond being a nosy busybody or a conspiracy theorist.
Which is easy to fall into.
Totally. They could be a truth seeker, a whistleblower inside corrupt systems, pursuing clues, testing loyalties, spotlighting secrets that powerful people want hidden.
And finally, the trickster archetype. Not just a jokester, an unreliable distraction.
No.
They could be the social glue of the party, the morale booster after trauma, mediating disputes, healing through humor, using their wit to keep the group together.
What's fascinating here is that each of these archetypes, when you free them from that ossified expectation, brings this new narrative gravity to campaigns.
Totally.
When DMs and players move beyond the simple, they create rogues who are not just skilled, but truly unforgettable. Layer by layer, the rogue's collection of tricks transforms from mere mechanics into windows into identity, motivation, and profound meaning.
That's like the article beautifully puts it. When DMs and players ask not just, what does my rogue do, but who are they? Why do they act this way? What drives them at their core?
That's the key question.
That's when stories truly bloom with unexpected color and resonance. A nuanced rogue fills a campaign with tension and payoff. They become a foil, a confidant, a wild card that enriches every single story interaction.
Yeah.
The class ceases to be just a mere device and instead becomes this living, breathing engine of story, full of volatility and surprising revelation.
And this brings us nicely to how rogues truly act as story drivers. A rogue, when played with depth and intention, right at the heart of a campaign. It's like narrative dynamite.
Ooh, I like that. Narrative dynamite.
Yeah. They're quietly reshaping plots with every footstep, every difficult decision, every choice that just pushes the narrative into an unexpected direction.
They thrive in the cracks, don't they? Between the obvious stuff, the spaces where other classes might not even think to look.
Exactly. They're navigating court intrigues with whispers, negotiating with shadowy thieves' guilds through subtle cues, bridging the worlds of law and chaos through sheer cunning. They truly are the grease in the machinery of plot. The wild cards whose choices unsettle, realign, and just ignite the campaign's momentum. Like, You think you know where the story's going.
And then the rogue does something.
And then the rogue does something completely unexpected, and boom, you're off on a brand new, thrilling trajectory.
It's so true, and the intrinsic complexity baked right into rogue mechanics, like that choice to use sneak attack or to disengage. It really mirrors the deep narrative choices rogues often face.
How so?
Well, do they act for themselves or for the group? Are they driven by lingering guilt or burning ambition? By deep love or simmering revenge? Unlike the often straightforward valor of fighters, maybe, or the clear dogma of clerics,
There's less black and white.
rogues thrive in the borderlands of morality. They fuel intrigue, betrayal, and more often than not, incredibly compelling redemption arcs. This inherent uncertainty draws immense attention and investment from the whole table. It offers fertile ground for profound arcs of growth and repentance.
And here's where it gets really interesting. Rogues can drive entire campaigns without ever spilling a single drop of blood.
Really, how?
Intrigue, subtle manipulation, sharp wit, these become the primary engines of progress. Whether it's unmasking corrupt politicians through careful evidence gathering, toppling a powerful thieves guild from within using their own rules against them, or wresting secret truths from masked courtiers through social engineering. Rogues transform the story machinery from brute force to cunning maneuver.
So their skill-based play invites creative problem-solving.
And deep role play. In every single session, it keeps both players and DMs on guard for the next brilliant, unforeseen narrative twist.
And beneath all that cleverness, the class frequently serves as the party's moral test, doesn't it?
Oh, definitely.
Will the rogue choose self-preservation, or will they make a profound sacrifice for the greater good? Every shadowy deal struck, every whispered secret shared, it tugs at the campaign's fabric.
Yeah, it has consequences.
It forces changes of heart, the realignment of alliances, or even heartbreaking group schisms. When played as more than just a collection of mechanics, rogues become the linchpin characters around which the entire story spins.
Absolutely. Their internal struggles become everyone's concern, and their choices ripple across the whole campaign world.
Let's get into some more concrete examples of these narrative roles beyond just combat, because this is where that chill, expansive storytelling vibe really kicks in.
Okay, so imagine a rogue not as a combatant, but as a political fixer.
Right.
Mediating between warring factions, brokering alliances with carefully gathered leverage, not brute violence. They're the silent force shaping the geopolitical landscape.
I like that. Or a rogue is a deeply reluctant hero, haunted by childhood failures maybe, striving for redemption through quiet acts of courage, even if they have to operate from the deepest shadows.
So their journey isn't about glory.
No, it's about healing old wounds. And how about a secret diplomat, handling emissary duties in hostile foreign courts with this unparalleled blend of charm and subterfuge, subtly changing global relations without anyone even knowing their true identity.
Rewriting history from behind the scenes, or a double agent, playing both sides in some grand conspiracy, but motivated by this deep, unwavering loyalty to an unwitting ally they need to protect.
Oh, that's some serious, delicious intrigue right there.
Isn't it? And they could easily be the party's moral compass, steering the group away from cruelty or corruption, not through lecturing, but by their own principled, quiet actions, despite their own checkered past. That's a truly profound character arc just waiting to happen.
What about a masked vigilante? Protecting the powerless and the innocent, hiding their identity even from their closest friends, perhaps because of the danger their past represents.
Yeah, the burden of secrecy.
Or a trusted informant gathering intelligence for the group where truth, not gold, is the true, invaluable prize they seek. Imagine the tension when revealing that truth could put them or their loved ones in immense danger.
Or even a pacifist saboteur.
Yeah.
Using their skills not to kill, but to disable war engines or destabilize tyrannical regimes without ever resorting to lethal force.
Literally disarming conflict.
Exactly. In campaigns that truly make space for rogue-driven stories like these, every player benefits. Plots thicken with unexpected twists, trust is constantly tested and earned, and success rarely comes without profound personal risk. Rogues are built to embody inner conflict, shifting loyalties, intensely personal quests, and all the emotional fallout that comes with it. Their mere presence promises that nothing remains predictable and no path to victory will ever be straight or simple.
And when a rogue is truly harnessed as a multidimensional character, it completely transforms a campaign's tone, its stakes, its entire trajectory. When handled well, they challenge not only monsters and puzzles, but the very soul of the party, forcing introspection and difficult choices. DMs and players who really lean into this potential can craft stories that linger long, long after the dice have stopped rolling and the snacks are gone.
And this leads us perfectly into the rogue's incredibly versatile role in gameplay, far beyond just what most people expect in combat scenarios.
Right, beyond the stabby.
Exactly. When swords clashed and spells blazed, players often lost sight of the slippery, often surprising ways rogues dominated scenarios beyond the battlefield. Rogues moved between worlds with remarkable ease.
Yeah.
One moment cajoling a stoic guard with a casual lie, the next prying open a supposedly impenetrable vault, or orchestrating the entire party's escape from a burning palace. The very structure of the class rewards flexibility and adaptation. Survival as much by lightning wit as by the sharp glint of a blade.
Even in the thick of combat, though, rogues totally upended expectations, while some classes relied on brute force and raw power.
Yeah, the tanks and blasters.
Rogues manipulated terrain, ambushed enemies with uncanny timing, and exploited openings with surgical precision. Their battlefield control, though often subtle, frequently turned the tide in ways more overt classes never could. The game's most memorable victories sometimes belong not to the strongest, but to the most clever, the most resourceful. It's like they're playing a different game, a more cerebral one, but it still works perfectly within the larger combat framework.
Yet the rogue's true glory often shone brightest during social encounters and exploration. DMs who truly gave rogues the space to parlay, to negotiate, to infiltrate, or even just to eavesdrop effectively, they unlocked entire layers of game that otherwise would have just slumbered beneath the surface.
Right, you got to give them those opportunities.
The only limit was truly imagination. What if the rogue sweet-talked a notoriously cruel prison warden into revealing secrets? Or cleverly planted evidence to frame a corrupt lord without anyone suspecting?
Oh, nice.
What if they skillfully led the group through shifting, dangerous city streets on a full moon night, evading impossible patrols? Every skill, every ability, whispered of opportunity, if only the table could hear it and act upon it.
And puzzles and traps, too, absolutely begged for a deft rogue hand. The world's dangers weren't always hulking monsters, right?
No, often they were subtle.
Sometimes they were intricate locks, cryptic riddles, shifting walls, or ancient lethal glyphs. Rogues became the vital thread stitching together party survival, untying knots with the brains instead of brute brawn.
Yeah.
Where others saw impenetrable danger, rogues found a hidden possibility, cutting through chaos with focused precision, and often, a little bit of flair.
Let's talk about some truly unconventional roles rogues can excel in, beyond just the standard dungeon crawl.
Okay, let's hear them.
Think about the mediating peace talks where both sides inherently suspect trickery, using their knack for reading people and situations to find common ground.
High-stakes social encounter.
Totally. Or imagine them expertly disguising party members to elude magical surveillance or scrying attempts. That's a deep, specialized utility that opens up whole new plot lines.
Oh yeah, bypassing magical security. Or negotiating ransoms or prisoner exchanges with ruthless criminal underworld bosses. That's a very roguey thing to do, but in a totally different, more diplomatic and high-stakes context than just a street mugging.
Exactly, and leading nighttime infiltration into enemy headquarters from rooftops. Using urban verticality to bypass patrols and alarms. That's just classic cool. A scene right out of a spy thriller.
Totally.
Absolutely. They can operate as battlefield commanders, analyzing enemy tactics and countering ambushes with strategic placements and cunning diversions, transforming the chaos of battle into a choreographed dance.
A rogue is commander. Interesting.
Why not? Or crafting elaborate heists to retrieve lost relics without triggering a single magical alarm or setting off a trap. That's next-level planning and execution, relying purely on intellect and precision.
Posing as seemingly harmless bodyguards, or charming liaisons in noble courts to gather intelligence. Or mastering urban or wilderness navigation to bypass patrols or natural hazards that would stymie other groups. So much more than just sneaking around a dark alley.
They can coordinate complex prison breaks where brute strength would only doom the attempt, requiring careful timing, social manipulation, and precise movements.
Right, brain over brawn again.
Or running sabotage operations on enemy supply lines or war machines, turning the tide of a larger conflict through subtle, focused destruction rather than open warfare.
And unraveling political conspiracies by piecing together clues hidden in coded documents, whispers, and subtle body language, or serving as an intermediary during tense hostage situations using their social skills to de-escalate and find peaceful resolutions.
And don't forget forging documents, seals, or signatures to infiltrate otherwise inaccessible locations. The possibilities are truly boundless when you lean into their whole toolkit.
Yeah.
Rogues, when fully leaned into and understood, transform parties from blunt instruments into flexible, multidimensional forces.
Rather than relegating them to trap detector or theft consultant, SmartPlay sees rogues as diplomatic envoys, tactical masterminds, and true agents of change within the campaign world. Their presence challenges the entire party to imagine new solutions and rewards creativity at every turn.
It's like parties thriving on diversity and unpredictability just flourish where rogues are unleashed from old constraints. Strategic depth grows, player engagement soars, and the game becomes far more than just a series of combat encounters. When the D&D table embraces the full sum of the rogue's skills, every scenario expands, and adventures become exponentially more memorable for it.
And this brings us to one of the most exciting aspects, I think. Reframing morality, pushing rogues far beyond those typical alignment constraints.
Alignment. Always tricky.
It is. Most players, when painting their rogues, instinctively reach for the same brush. A palette of chaos, gray morality, pure opportunism.
Chaotic neutral is the classic, right? It is. Yet the spectrum of rogue alignments shimmers with undiscovered stories. Each hue representing a radical new direction in motivation, ethics, and behavior. In this reframing, alignment becomes a truly powerful tool for narrative, not a rigid cage.
Okay, I like that. Alignment is a tool, not a cage.
Yeah.
So give me an example, like lawful good. How did that work for a rogue?
Imagine the lawful good rogue, standing tall as an incorruptible detective, meticulously rooting out corruption not for reward, but from an unshakable, almost sacred sense of justice and order.
Okay.
They adhere to the law, but they do so to reform and uphold its true spirit, even if it means exposing those in power. Or maybe a lawful good palace scribe secretly gathering evidence against tyrannical leaders for honest judges, risking everything because the law itself has been perverted.
That's a lawful good. That doesn't feel like a stuffy paladin, yeah. So it's a sharp calculating force for good.
Exactly. Or consider a neutral good rebel courier. Bravely smuggling medicines to plague victims under harsh martial law, they operate in the shadows outside established systems.
Using stealth for good.
Purely for genuine compassion, not for personal gain. They skirt the law, but their heart is always in the right place. Or an informant seeking clemency for impoverished thieves, using their street smarts and contact to advocate for the downtrodden, driven by a deep sense of social justice rather than adherence to strict rules.
And what about a lawful evil rogue? Now that's fascinating. How does that manifest?
An inquisitor, perhaps. Manipulating bureaucracy and legal loopholes for personal gain, while always presenting an impeccable, lawful front. They use the rules as a weapon.
Ooh, nasty.
Or an enforcer, maintaining strict guild discipline with iron rules and zero mercy, creating a brutal but undeniably ordered hierarchy within the underworld. They are evil, yes, but their actions are predictable, bound by their own twisted code.
Chaotic good, then, not just random mischief.
Could be a trickster driven by whimsy, but always ultimately defending the powerless, or a street performer using magic and agility to entertain but secretly protect the local urchins.
Chaotic evil. Beyond just burning things down.
Maybe a vandal using stealth to sow upheaval and chaos among the establishment they despise. Or a burglar orchestrating arson specifically to break a city spirit, a calculated act of malice.
Okay, and true neutral. Beyond just apathy.
Maybe a skilled peacekeeper mediating dangerous disputes in the underworld. Their sole motivation being to maintain a fragile balance, preventing all-out war between factions. Just keeping the peace, whatever it takes. Or an academic obsessed with uncovering hidden knowledge, loyal only to the pursuit of truth, wherever it may lead them, regardless of moral implications or personal cost. They simply seek understanding.
Often, a strict adherence to the alignment stereotype really limits both player agency and depth of storytelling, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Characters shaped to fit a moral straitjacket lack the tension and unpredictability that make rogues so compelling. Letting rogues slip into any alignment transforms every component of play. Their goals, their relationships with the party, their difficult decisions, the very dynamics of the group.
True narrative richness emerges when alignments are molded around genuine motive, not just a surface-level stereotype.
Right. The rogue can choose loyalty, or deep mercy, or outright rebellion. They might take up arms for peace, infiltrate criminal syndicates out of compassion, or defy orders out of rigid devotion to personal codes. The result is a character of paradox and intrigue, one whose true nature never rests comfortably in any single box.
Where alignment is a springboard, not a straitjacket, rogue stories break out of the expected rut and just soar. They become stories of unwavering faith, of hard-won justice, of deep selfishness, of iron discipline, of unexpected hope. Each one is more compelling for the surprise inherent in their nature.
Yeah, DMs and players just need to ask themselves, what does my rogue truly value at their core? And alignment can beautifully serve, not impede, that storytelling magic.
The more fluid the relationship with alignment, the more deeply the rogue class can explore the limits and contradictions of human motivation. Such characters live not just in the pages of the monster manual.
No, they become real.
They become the vibrant, unforgettable spotlight of the greatest adventures.
And that's where the art of deep role-playing really comes in, building these incredibly complex rogue arcs.
Beyond the stats and skills.
Exactly. In those quiet, hidden places between dice rolls and stat sheets, rogues truly become most alive. Their inherent complexity isn't just an accident of mechanics, it's a mandate for storytelling depth. They are, by their very nature, characters built for internal turmoil and profound transformation. The class's native flexibility mirrors the intricate ways real people wrestle with impulse, with memory, with hope.
Oh, absolutely. Layered, compelling rogues demand more from their players than just mere skill checks. The very best stories, the ones that really stay with you.
Yeah.
They stem from characters who carry deep secrets, face gnawing shame, or are relentlessly chasing redemption. For every thief longing for absolution, there exists a grifter haunted by a vanished family they desperately want to find.
Or an assassin tormented by the blood staining each hand.
Right. Or an arcane trickster exiled from academic circles for forbidden knowledge they now use for good.
Their motivations can shift dramatically over the course of a campaign too, can't they?
Totally. From a raw desire for gold to a burning sense of honor. From bitter revenge to profound forgiveness, or from mere survival to ultimate self-sacrifice.
Yeah.
The unique tools and abilities of the rogue map naturally onto these deep stories of identity.
Yeah.
Who is this character really? Where have they come from truly? What do they fear? What do they love? What do they deeply regret?
Rogues, by their very nature, move through life by constant adaptation. Driven always by an inner need to prove something, to atone for something, or maybe to escape from something that haunts them.
Masterful role-playing means embracing not just mechanical opportunity, but profound psychological and emotional risk.
Taking chances with the character's heart, basically.
Exactly. Growth often comes from pain, doesn't it? Think of the ex-guild dude who must defy her old, dangerous crew to protect newfound friends.
Ooh, that's tough.
Or the assassin, who cannot wash away the searing memory of a child's tears after a particularly brutal contract. Or the trickster, who, despite their outward joviality, truly wonders if laughter can mend the deep wounds left by their countless lies and deceptions.
Conflict and doubt, for a rogue, aren't obstacles to be sidestepped.
No, they're vital fodder for profound growth and truly unforgettable character moments.
Let's explore some really complex rogue character arcs that show this potential. Imagine an assassin, now bound by an unbreakable oath to never kill again, who must risk everything they have to redeem a blood-soaked past. The tension of them using their skills not to kill, but to protect, to disarm, to deter.
That's so rich. Or consider a thief facing a public trial, where old victims from their past suddenly demand justice, forcing the party to either defend or condemn them, creating profound moral dilemmas for everyone involved.
Oh, wow, yeah. Or a guild runaway forced to lead their former dangerous allies against a common, even greater threat, testing their loyalty anew and forcing them to confront their past head-on.
And a mastermind, suddenly cut off from all their old contacts and resources, who must learn humility and forge true, honest friendships for the very first time in their calculating life. That's a truly massive character journey, a complete reevaluation of how they operate in the world.
Absolutely. An arcane trickster cursed by forbidden magic, maybe by a vengeful fae or a disgruntled god, struggling desperately to reclaim their agency or forgive a mentor's profound betrayal.
Or a swashbuckler, once lauded in noble society, now rejected by nobility, who finds a new purpose embracing the peasantry and fighting for their justice, their flair now directed at truly meaningful causes. These are transformative stories that reshape the core of the character.
Then you have a former street urchin who once stole purely for survival, who gradually discovers the profound value of generosity and true belonging, perhaps even becoming a protector of other street kids.
Oh.
And a phantom rogue, haunted not by fear, but by the spirit of a slain enemy, constantly seeking forgiveness from both the living world and the spectral one they now walk between. So much emotional potential just waiting there.
What about a grifter, known for their cold calculations, who unexpectedly falls in love with the very target of a long-running con? Torn now between their deep loyalty to their crew and the unexpected surge of genuine profit. Genuine feeling.
Freudian slip there. Or maybe a paladin rogue hybrid, constantly torn by their contradictory code of conduct, choosing every day between their holy vows and their darker, more effective criminal skills.
Or a spy with nowhere left to truly belong. Always on the brink of exposure, always living a lie, but gradually, painstakingly finding a genuine place to call home among the adventurers they now travel with.
When campaigns truly give rogues the space for such stories, the entire experience becomes electric. Party dynamics shift in profound ways, bonds deepen through shared vulnerability, and every triumph or failure feels incredibly real because it's rooted in something personal and deeply felt.
Rogues, when played with this kind of depth, really bridge the gap between head and heart at the table. The campaign, once perhaps focused primarily on monsters and gold, increasingly revolves around the profound choices and unexpected consequences shaped by the rogue's intricate inner life. They become the true heart of the adventure.
And DMs, this next part is really for you. Integrating rogues seamlessly and brilliantly into your campaigns. It's about moving far beyond the simplistic heist of the week scenario.
Please, yes.
Dungeon masters can truly unlock the vast potential of rogues by crafting stories that champion their skills and their profound character dimension, not just rehash the same old scenarios. Truly successful campaigns weave rogue abilities into the very tapestry of plot and party dynamics.
How?
Ensuring every quiet move, every clever scheme, or every whispered confession has deep, lasting meaning.
So first, structure challenges to specifically require creative multi-stage solutions. Negotiation, infiltration, ingenious problem-solving, genuine teamwork.
Right, don't make it all about one skill check.
This prevents rogues from either dominating every challenge or fading into irrelevance. Instead, each unique skill becomes a spotlight. From expertly breaking obscure codes to brilliantly brokering back-alley deals that force profound moral quandaries upon the party.
DMs benefit immensely from foregrounding the immediate and far-reaching consequences of rogue choices, too. Success and failure alike should ripple through the campaign world.
Yeah, make their actions matter.
Sparking new connections, revealing hidden dangers, opening up fresh opportunities.
Opportunities for deep roleplay are just as vital as mechanical tasks, though. Provide your rogue players with dilemmas only they can truly resolve.
Like what?
Maybe a brewing guild war needs inside knowledge only they can acquire to quell. Perhaps the city's safety depends on subtly outwitting a rival mastermind, a challenge of wits, not weapons. Or a beloved party member's fate hangs on a piece of critical evidence the rogue alone can procure from a dangerous, locked-down location.
These moments generate immense tension and give the class indispensable agency, making them absolutely vital to the group's greater good.
And finally, always anchor rogue story arcs to the party's larger goals. Integrate their personal quests so that they either align beautifully with or subtly complicate the campaign's main quest.
Increases investment for everyone.
Exactly. Every character becomes necessary, every choice resonates, and the story truly hums with interwoven destinies.
Okay, let's talk about some specific scenarios for brilliant rogue integration, the kind that makes everyone at the table lean forward.
Yeah, give me the goods.
Imagine a noble's masquerade ball that turns into a high-stakes heist where an arcane trickster subtly exposes a corrupt noble and secures a necessary artifact, perfectly integrating with the party's infiltration mission to gather critical intel without a single blade being drawn.
Nice. Or a complex assassination plot on the party's beloved patron, with an assassin using their unique skills not to commit murder, but to prevent it. And in doing so, uncovering a vast, dangerous conspiracy.
That's a profound act of mutual trust, saving a key ally. Or deciphering coded messages between rival guilds with a mastermind, using their intellect to unmask traitors and subtly steer faction politics, protecting the city and advancing the group's alliances through sheer cunning.
Navigating haunted ruins for a lost treasure, with a phantom rogue reconnecting with ancestor spirits and solving a forgotten mystery, forging unexpected alliances with local tribes, all thanks to their unique connection to the ethereal.
Leading a prison break to free an innocent, with a thief challenging a corrupt system from within, sparking profound moral debate within the party and increasing their reputation as liberators.
Wilderness sabotage of enemy supply lines, with a scout using their knowledge of the land to turn the tide in a regional war, assisting local militia with a direct, palpable payoff that saves countless lives.
Orchestrating a diplomatic coup, with a mastermind subtly reshaping city leadership for a peaceful solution to a looming war, preventing untold bloodshed through negotiation and intelligence.
Disabling powerful magical wards in a wizard's tower, with an arcane trickster preventing a catastrophic magical disaster and wider consequences for the realm.
Exposing a smuggling ring in a bustling city harbor, with an inquisitive meticulously piecing together clues, reducing crime, winning public favor, and gaining invaluable access to the underworld's secrets.
Uniting rival thieves' guilds for a common greater cause, with a soul knife using their unique empathic and psychic abilities to end a destructive turf war and secure future resources and local stability.
Or interpreting ghostly clues at a murder scene, with a phantom rogue solving a cold case that baffled the living, bringing peace to tormented victims and earning the city's gratitude.
And even sabotaging a ritual to prevent a planar invasion, with an arcane trickster blocking a major existential threat and saving the entire campaign setting from utter destruction.
Integrating rogues effectively is not about creating obstacles just for them. It's about elevating their profound importance by making challenges richer, more intricate, and party success far more collaborative and satisfying. Good DMs share the spotlight, weaving each character's unique strengths into world-shifting moments.
A thoughtfully integrated rogue absolutely transforms the party from a mere collection of adventurers into a dynamic, evolving troupe whose bonds withstand betrayal and tragedy and who learn to trust in the most unexpected places. Over time, the group's most powerful stories will rest squarely on the shoulders of that once maligned class, now revealed as the true lifeblood of the tale.
And that leads us beautifully to the undeniable power of synergy, rogues and their allies. True D&D brilliance shines brightest through incredible teamwork, doesn't it?
Oh, totally.
And rogues often power the party's most inventive and satisfying collaborations. Coordination with other classes produces tactical gold, blending disparate strengths into plans no monster, no lord, no complex puzzle can possibly withstand.
With spellcasters, for instance. Rogue enable quick surgical strikes, a wizard distracting with brilliant illusions while the rogue slips past defenses, retrieves a lost scroll, or silences the enemy's mage before a devastating spell can erupt.
Yeah. Or imagine a sorcerer cloaking a rogue in perfect invisibility for a critical sabotage mission. Or an artificer and rogue inventing ingenious, custom-made gadgets and traps for a specific infiltration.
It's like so many ways to be unbelievably clever together. A beautiful dance of skills.
With bards, rogues concoct deceptions and feints that can sway city councils or outmaneuver rival guilds in complex courtly intrigues.
The ultimate social engineering team.
Exactly. Imagine a bard expertly entertaining a target, their silver tongue weaving distractions, while the rogue, unseen, plants evidence or picks a critical lock. Or a bard and rogue executing a sophisticated rolling con at a royal court, blending charm and misdirection to oust a tyrant through pure charisma and cunning.
Paladins, surprisingly, can serve as both nemesis and profound conscience for a rogue, refusing to let them ignore consequences while simultaneously learning to trust them implicitly for critical intelligence gathering and tactical battlefield strategy.
That's a cool dynamic.
Imagine a paladin and rogue negotiating an uneasy but deeply effective alliance, using the paladin's legal clout and the rogue's street contacts to reform city laws, or the paladin for the first time trusting the rogue completely for intel on a shady deal, knowing only the rogue can get the truth. That's a beautiful, complex dance of trust and ethics.
With rangers and druids, rogues expand the party's reach exponentially. No trail becomes too faint to follow, no hidden hideout too well concealed.
Yeah, the ultimate scouts.
Rogues and rangers scouting ahead for perfectly coordinated ambushes, hitting targets before they even know they're being hunted, or rogues and druids effortlessly outpacing patrols in dense forests, blending animal forms and subtle disguise for seamless infiltration and escape. They become one with the environment.
And fighters, barbarians, monks, the martial classes.
Oh yeah. A fighter brilliantly distracting a warlord's elite guard while a rogue silently disables defenses for a surprise, devastating strike.
Nice setup.
Or a barbarian creating sheer chaos in a town square, drawing all attention, while a rogue extracts the governor's critical ledger from right under the nose of unsuspecting guards.
The Chaos Crew.
Or a monk and rogue using acrobatic feats to bypass fortress walls, then splitting roles for swift, silent takedowns of key targets. It's like a perfectly choreographed high-stakes performance every time.
And clerics. Seems like an odd pairing sometimes.
Often called on to heal wounds or mend reputations, right? But they can discover incredibly powerful partners in rogues when confronting deep moral impasses or rooting out insidious hidden threats that holy magic alone cannot reveal.
How so?
Imagine rogues and clerics silently combating a vampiric cult, blending stealth and holy magic to reclaim abducted villagers without an alarm being raised. One using shadow, the other using light in perfect concert.
These bonds elevate both gameplay and narrative to a truly remarkable degree, totally transcending the rift of old stereotypes.
Yeah.
The fragile, hard-won trust between a paladin and a reformed thief. The crackling electric chemistry of a bard enticing a mark while the rogue delivers the clinching blow. Or the scholarly mage and the arcane trickster debating esoteric magical theory while expertly disabling lethal wards in an ancient ruin. It all just clicks into place in such satisfying ways.
When parties genuinely lean into trust and collaboration, rogues truly blossom. Their unique gifts become vital, indispensable contributions, not merely liabilities, and the group moves beyond mere survival to a genuine mastery of their world and the challenges within it. Over time, the stories told around the table will remember not the chaos, but the sharp wit and profound heart rogues brought to the party and the game itself. An integrated rogue does for the narrative what a linchpin does for a machine. Everything turns smoother with more power, and the entire journey becomes far more than the sum of its individual parts.
Yeah.
In these moments, the old, tired trope of the loner thief utterly dissolves, replaced by something richer, stranger, and infinitely more rewarding.
And this is where we get to hear some of the most memorable tales from the table, right? Where rogues truly shone in moments of unexpected brilliance.
Yeah, the anecdotes.
Campaign tales flicker with vivid memories of rogues, often in situations where nobody expected them to shine quite so brightly. It's like when leveraged for both their mechanics and their narrative potential, the rogue became a quiet storm at the very center of every adventure.
One group vividly remembers the time their mastermind rogue outwitted an entire citywide guild war.
Wow.
No blood was spilled, just secrets traded like a precious currency in the city's deepest, darkest back alleys. This rogue meticulously gathered intelligence, played factions against each other with subtle leaks and rumors, and ultimately brokered a nonviolent truce that saved countless lives.
Pure strategic genius. A triumph of intellect over brute force.
Exactly. And another table recounts with roaring laughter how an arcane trickster didn't just pick a lock or disarm a trap. They actually posed as a noble's vengeful ghost to absolutely terrify a corrupt magistrate into confessing his heinous crimes completely on the spot.
Huh? That's brilliant. Inspired use of illusion, magic, and psychological warfare. Solving a problem no other class could have touched without a messy fight.
A party near utter collapse, on the verge of a full wipe, was saved not by healing spells or divine intervention, but by the split-second reflex and brilliant ingenuity of a scout rogue.
What do they do?
This scout cleverly lured a terrifying dragon out of its lair just long enough for the others to regroup and prepare a desperate counterattack. It was a perfect example of creative thinking under immense pressure, valuing party survival above all else.
And in campaigns across the globe, rogues have struck incredible bargains with literal angels, outwitted cunning fiends through sheer wit, and left powerful rulers reeling from political coups made possible by careful, painstaking investigation and subtle manipulation. It's just wild what they can do when given the space to be more than just a backstabber.
These stories truly vibrate with unpredictability, often filled with surprising emotional depth. The greatest heist, for one group, failed not from a botched lockpick or a missed stealth roll, but from the rogue's old flame arriving on the scene as the newly appointed chief of the city guard.
Ouch. That created an incredible moment of personal stakes, forcing a difficult choice between a criminal past and a betting future.
Exactly. And another group watched, captivated, as their phantom rogue actually parlayed with the ghost of a murdered queen, learning critical secrets and pieces of lost history that other classes might never have coaxed from the silence of the grave.
Wow.
Every session blazed with surprise, often eliciting peals of laughter when a daring con succeeded, tense silence when a betrayal came home to roost, and profound catharsis when the rogue finally found peace or redemption after a long, arduous journey.
It is truly the intersection of wit, sheer luck, and layered, complex motivation that marks these moments unforgettable. Parties fight, they mend, they profoundly evolve around the rogue's often difficult choices. Their own personal arcs deepened by the fallout and redemption that follows each quiet step into the shadows, or each bold step into the light.
And the article has these great key takeaways from these anecdotes, these little nuggets of wisdom. It really shows that conflict can be resolved through strategy and cunning, not just through violence.
Like the mastermind brokering piece.
Exactly. And rogue archetypes have incredibly unique resources and specific knowledge, like that phantom rogue speaking directly to a restless ghost for invaluable intel that bypasses all living sources.
And rogue skills, beyond just combat, create unique infiltration paths that no other class can replicate, like disguising the entire party as humble servants at a grand ball to gain access to a secure location.
Sacrifice and initiative deeply deepen party trust, such as a rogue bravely creating a dangerous distraction for the entire group's escape, putting themselves in harm's way for their allies.
And illusions can be used not just to avoid conflicts, but to profoundly resolve them. Like an arcane trickster cleverly fooling an entire legion of golems into thinking the party isn't there or that the path is clear.
Creative use of the environment can literally save the party from impossible odds. Like a scout rogue using their intimate knowledge of the terrain to brilliantly lure a terrifying dragon away with fake treasure, buying the party precious time.
And rogues reshape power dynamics with information, not blades. Like a mastermind funneling carefully crafted rumors to ignite a rebellion against a tyrant, subtly changing the course of history.
And vulnerability can yield incredible emotional payoff. Like a rogue bravely confessing a dark, painful past to their party after a perceived betrayal, leading to deeper trust and understanding, not condemnation.
Morality can truly trump stereotypes, like that assassin rogue choosing not to fulfill a grim contract driven by a newfound moral compass or the innocence of their target.
Unique powers can solve seemingly intractable problems, like a soul knife manipulating psychic locks for an impossible escape, bypassing physical barriers with sheer mental prowess.
And intelligence, for a rogue, is undeniably a powerful weapon, not just brute strength. Like an inquisitive, meticulously cracking a secret code that reveals a vast conspiracy.
And urban environments truly magnify rogue talents, turning a crowded city street into a personal playground. Like a swashbuckler leveraging a cheering crowd as the perfect cover for a quick, vital maneuver.
Every rogue-driven story is a microcosm of what the class can truly be. Unexpected, intensely moving, surprisingly complex, and profoundly impactful. Table memories accrue not just around epic kills or successful skill checks.
Well, it's more than that.
But around profound choices, deep emotion, and that collective gasp when something utterly unplanned and entirely rogue-driven rewrites the campaign's fate.
A party truly willing to give rogues narrative ownership will find themselves in the heart of stories that provoke uncontrollable laughter, genuine tears, and sheer awe. Rogues become not a liability, but an inexhaustible wellspring of campaign-defining moments.
As the dice stop clattering and the campaign's threads twine ever tighter, the rogue stands revealed as D&D's most mutable, most profoundly misunderstood, and truly magnificent class.
Well said.
Far from a simple caricature, the rogue embodies all the tension and transformation possible in role-playing games. Every daring risk, every hard-won redemption, every quiet twist of fate that changes everything. They are not only the shadow in the corner, but the unexpected light that complicates, that forges bonds, and sometimes that single-handedly saves entire worlds.
For far too long, legacy and pop culture allowed simplicity to masquerade as truth. Rogues as mere thieves, as inevitable betrayers, as simple comic relief. Those tropes have been worn to absolute tatters, utterly unfit for the vibrant, complex stories that now drive tables wild with suspense, with deep emotion, and with boundless joy. Every roll of the die, every quiet choice, every whispered word is a reminder that this class can be so much more. A courageous leader, a passionate lover, a willing martyr, a terrifying monster, or hope itself reborn from the darkest alleys.
It falls now to players and DMs alike to lean into this boundless possibility, to truly use each archetype and every skill as a powerful tool for invention, for unique storytelling.
Treat the class as the engine for intrigue, the forge of profound feeling, The wild card that turns flat modules absolutely electric, layer on rich motivation and complex identity, test their loyalty in unexpected ways, and truly embrace the wonder and the beautiful risk at the heart of every truly great campaign.
From the winding shadowed alleys of Waterdeep to the blasted demon-haunted plains of Avernus, rogues remain forever poised on the edge. Always ready to fall, but also always, incredibly, ready to soar to unimagined heights.
Behind every whispered secret, every near-silent step, there is a heart beating for something far, far more than just gold.
So you, the listener, the next time you sit at the table, what unexpected light will your rogue bring to the world you play in? Beyond the shadows and the gold, what profound connection will they forge that defies every single expectation placed upon them? We'd absolutely love to hear your thoughts, your experiences.
Yeah, definitely. Kick back, relax, and share your favorite nuanced rogue characters and those truly memorable storytelling moments in the comments below. We encourage you to be as chill or as wild as you like with your stories. Just share that passion.
And a huge warm shout out to LitRPG Reads for this truly excellent piece that sparked this entire deep dive, and specifically to Paul Bello, who, as the article notes, is indeed a fine fellow.
He is.
And of course, massive credit to the author, Heidi Jiang. A native Hoosier, apparently Heidi just loves reading and playing just about anything. She's a fantastic writer who clearly knows her stuff, and we are so grateful for her insights.
Absolutely. Thanks for diving deep with us today. Keep exploring the boundless possibilities of your D&D characters, and remember, the best stories are often found in the most unexpected places. We'll catch you next time.